Welcome back everyone to another video, and we're doing another market review for E-mini NASDAQ, and today is the pre-NFP day. As tomorrow's going to be NFP, it's going to be NFP Friday. Today is September 5th, Thursday, and jumping right into this, what we were seeing for the AM session on the ICT Silver Bullet, we have the daily chart. And as I said before, I was looking at this area, some potential possible reaction here where we're going to get from price, which we did for the day. We sort of got another consolidation type of candle here, and I still want to see if price wants to either head lower down into this volume imbalance here, or again, if we want to come higher and take out this really clean highs, because as you guys can see, if you draw like a little horizontal tool, these highs are really clean. So I want to see how price is going to react going into tomorrow, and my main draw, like I said, is really up here. So I'm bullish overall. We still have that new week opening gap being respected even in this Asian session. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go going forward for tomorrow. Jumping into the 15-minute, really all the levels that I had really weren't much. The only thing I was looking at in particular for that session were these equal highs on the 15-minute. We see how they're really clean. Price goes below that midnight open, as you can see there, and we run those buy stops that are going to be above those highs, and even running up the previous day high as well, because this is the Wednesday high. So we were in a deep premium, allowing this sell to happen as well. In addition, we were also above that 10 a.m. opening price. Something else to note, that if we go back to the daily chart, I also had the low of this SIBI here, because if you take there's the high and the low of the SIBI, that's your SIBI there. I took the low of it there, and then we also have this daily order block that we talked about before, this bearish order block, because these two up close candles were engulfed by this one down close candle. So I was seeing that as a possible area for price. And I also had this new day opening gap here, just a small one, but we see the reaction happening there as well. So here we are on the 1-minute chart. As my model states, I like to see that buy side liquidity get taken, especially all these buy stops that are here. Retail is also going to be trailing their stop losses because they're going to be trying to chase this buy. So that's why I put here sell side liquidity, retail trailing their stops. So as price is getting higher and higher and higher, it's going to want to, retail is going to try to trail their stops. So as retail keeps trailing up their stop losses, this really makes for a better environment for market makers to engage in price action. And not only that, we also had a market maker sell model. Because if you go in here and you really analyze this, you have a consolidation here. You also have another consolidation right here. And then you have even another consolidation right up here as well. So it was leading up to this type of sell-off during that 10 to 11 ICT silver bullet model. And if I also add, like I said before, since they're trailing those stop losses, this is that last area where they probably have their stop losses, especially the people who originally got in. You can see that even they took them out right here. So they went back to that original pullback swing that made this movement and even took out that original move. So it's quite interesting how we saw that in price action. But looking at this a little further, really we could see here that once that hour started, and we also had price nearing that 10:30. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. So we run up, price is in a deep premium, like I said before. We're above midnight open, we're above 10 a.m. open. Two displacement candles down below here, and you even have an inverted fair value gap that it did somewhat pass through it, but it's fine. We then have this small fair value gap. It respects it, but look at the time. Right at 10:30, we fill that fair value gap and we displace lower. It is a little choppy in here, I'm not gonna lie to you, but price does eventually finally come down, respecting this bearish order block. Low resistance liquidity environment, because you don't have really any swings until you get here, and you can see price finally reacting to that low around here. And then once again, you have another low resistance liquidity run down in here. It's really making it easier for price to head down lower at faster speeds. So once again, 10:30 kicks in, we displace lower, and then right at the macro, we take buy stops. So usually during that macro, you want to be looking to possibly scale out of your position or anything like that. That's like your profit taking hour. So we see price take out buy stops right here. We then trade lower, SIBI once more, and we draw that out, and we see price respecting it even again, to falling down to even the original origination move that it created all this uptrend as well. And then another level I had marked was the 50% of this order block here. Look at price react to that. Look at the wicks perfectly respecting that. And then we finally passed through it going down forward. So all in all, the day wasn't too bad. You know, it is, like I said before, it is pre-NFP. So I personally don't trade it based on my rules. Tomorrow's NFP, so most likely, like I said, hands off probably this entire week. I'll be going in next week probably with a little bit of a better mindset, just because, you know, we had that Labor Day and then we also have NFP week at the same time. You know, that's really not a good combination to really be engaging in market price. So I've been really just tape reading and analyzing price really day to day overall. And jumping right into DXY just so we could see what was happening on DXY for this day as well. Really on my daily chart, all I really had, like we were talking about before, really if this price was, you know, if we were really going to have a pullback within this small fair value gap, are we going to head up here? Or was price going to pull back into this inverted fair value gap down here? Because if you draw it out, I have the 50% of it noted, but as we can see here, look at the 50% being respected right there. So it was definitely a little bit bearish, at least in that regard. And then here on the 1 minute, as we can see here, we see price explode right at 10 a.m. We pull back into this breakaway gap here. And why would it be a breakaway gap? Well, that's rather simple. You simply have to draw it out. And we see that the consequent encroachment of it stays respected. Price doesn't come back to it. That's indicating bullish order flow. Not only that, but we also have these really clean highs up here. Retail is trying to sell these clean highs. There's a lot of buy stops there, and we finally take them up, leading price back to that midnight open, which is key. You know, that's the type of things that you want to see, that when DXY is below midnight open and you're seeing that bullish order flow, and then NASDAQ is above midnight open and you're seeing bearish order flow. So those are a really high confluence days when you know the market is moving in the favor that you want it to. Alrighty guys, that was the market review, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to comment down below, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.